All right. First, Dee, so happy we made this happen.
Yes, finally.
It's been 3 years in the making.
Yes, it has.
First question, dive in. I think people look at your life and they think, wow, so lucky, so easy, but it wasn't always like this for you. And I think a lot of this episode is around how you got here. So maybe to start, how did you get here?
How did I get here today, right now on this couch?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a loaded question. It's been a long journey. I don't know how far back you want me to start. Do I go back to my Dallas days?
Yeah.
Sure. It's a long story. I basically, my life, I had a whole life before I met Tommy. Before I met Tommy, I was married to an Italian tennis player, and I was living in Monte Carlo. And I was married with my husband for, I think it was maybe 8 years, almost 9 years. And I wound up divorcing in 2003. I had 2 sons. And I had been divorced for 3 years when I met Tommy. And I met Tommy in the south of France. Like I said, I was living in Monaco, and he came to Saint-Tropez to visit. And that's where we sort of met and became, I would say we were friends at first because we were living on different continents. And so obviously when that relationship bloomed, my life changed a lot because I moved continents. I moved to where he was, and then, my life changed. But before I met Tommy, I had, I was a mom. I had, prior to marrying my ex-husband, I had modeled. I lived in Paris. And when I stopped modeling, I actually came to New York, and I was working on Wall Street at Prudential Beige as a commodities assistant trader. So, I mean, I've kind of feel like I've had maybe 10 lives, not even 9. I've bounced around. I've done all kinds of things. I've traveled many different places and, landed here. Here I am.
What was it like to live in Monaco?
Well, I mean, it was, I think from the outside, it seems very James Bond and very glamorous. And it was, but basically, I would drive my kids to school. I'd drive them to karate. It was kind of like living, any other place. It's very, very small. You live in, you pay a fortune to live in a very tiny apartment. And that part of it I didn't like. So eventually we moved just outside to Roquebrune so that we could have a bigger house. And, with the kids, we just needed more space. And it's small and you kind of know everybody. But as a base, it's great. My kids grew up speaking 2 languages, or 3 languages rather. So they're fluent in French, Italian, and English. So that was great. It's safe. So, like any place, there's good and bad.
And how did you grow up? And I'm assuming you grew up out here in the States.
Yeah, I grew up in Rhode Island, in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. My parents both immigrated. My father is from Istanbul, Turkey. My mom she was born in Birmingham, England, but then moved to Canada. So they actually met in Canada. And, I grew up in a small town in Rhode Island. And, I had one sister. My dad was super strict. Really
What's
strict.
super strict look like?
Can't, could never go to boy-girl parties.
Nice.
Couldn't do basically anything that all my friends were doing.
Taking inspiration from your dad.
But I wouldn't, because that made me, very restless. And that's part of the reason why
the tennis pro in Monaco. Okay, I'm tracking
wound
it now.
up going to Dallas where, boy-girl. I went to an all-girl Quaker school in
Quaker?
high school. Yes. So I had a very strict, imagine Turkish, English, Quaker. When I got out of that and I couldn't sort of wait to get out of Rhode Island, I was looking for where's the farthest place I can go. When I finally got to Dallas, it was very liberating and I had a lot of fun.
Good for you. You have impeccable taste. Have you always had such a point of view since you were younger?
I have always, well, thank you for saying that, by the
really
way. I don't
beautiful.
know, I have my taste. I don't know if it's impeccable, but I've always, since I was really young, I always was focused on, okay, my sister and I each had our own room, and I would pull, magazine tear sheets of I want my room to look like this. And So I've always, from a very young age, been very sort of hyper focused on aesthetic, whether it's clothing or the way my room looks. I don't know why, but I was born that way.
So how does Tommy approach you when you guys start dating? You said that you guys became friends first. Does he have like a hip pickup line? Does he hit on you a certain way?
Well, it's interesting. I don't know that his pickup line was probably, he said to me, I should be with a girl like you. So I didn't really know how to take that. I was like, oh, okay. Tommy at that time was running around. He was pretty wild in his day, I would say. And so I didn't really take that too seriously. Like I said, we were living on 2 different continents. And, he would sort of invite me to things and then disinvite me to things. He was very scattered. He was all over the place. So I kept it like in the friend zone for a while until I really kind of knew and thought like, okay, he's really serious. Because I can't, move. I've got 2 kids. I'm not going to move continents, for just, dating somebody or somebody that wants to, somebody that wasn't serious. I wasn't going to uproot my whole life.
When you guys did decide to get together, were you both aligned with designing things together, or was that something that happened slowly over time?
That's funny because I remember the very first time Tommy showed me his house. I remember just sighing, like having a big sigh of relief because I was like, oh my God, I like his house.
That's a big one.
I like his taste. I mean, I don't know if you've ever dated somebody and you just can't go there because, they have like a horrendous pillow on their couch. Or,
Michael had black sheets when I first started dating him.
Black sheets were the wrong choice for many reasons.
I was like, no.
You fix that.
Yeah, immediately. So I understand that. So you didn't have to get aligned with him on taste. You guys both had an excellent taste. And when you met each other, you just expanded on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, we used to play this game when we were dating, and he used to open up a magazine, and there used to be a page where they show a few different items, like say they'll show 5 different bags, and he'll say, well, what's your favorite? And then I'd have to look and I'd pick, and he'd say, yeah, that's my favorite too. So it was kind of funny, this game. We usually picked the same thing. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Our tastes are pretty aligned.
What was the first home that you guys decided to do together, and how did that go? Because Michael and I need some advice on this area.
So the first project we worked on together was we bought an apartment at the Plaza Hotel.
Fun.
Which I was like, wow, I can't remember what year. It must have been 2008, maybe. And at that time, it had only been a hotel, so it was really exciting. And
they just opened up the part of it for...
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And so that was the first thing we did together. And we kind of sat down and thought, okay, what do we want to do? And we sort of wanted to make it feel like it was from the Plaza Hotel. So we had these great, Truman Capote obviously did his famous white ball at the Plaza. So we had this great Warhol of Truman Capote, and we got black and white pictures of the white ball. We wanted to make it feel sort of classic and reminiscent of that time, because when I walked into the space, I was like, wow, if these walls could talk, because everybody from, Marilyn and the Beatles, that was a very exciting project to do together. And so we kept it sort of classic, and we did reds and blacks. And I don't know, I think for us, we always start with where the house is and what is the architectural style. I don't know, where is this house that you guys are doing?
No, we're redoing a house in Austin now.
In Austin.
So, but you don't want to end up with antlers on the wall. You know what I mean?
Right, you don't our cowboy hats hung.
Not that there's, well, I should probably say not that there's anything wrong with that.
You can infuse it so it feels like you're in Austin without it being on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think peppered in, you want to have some kind of vibe where you are, I think. Give it something like that. But, it's always about the edit and the mix. And
how do you guys work when you work on a project? Because you guys have worked on so many projects, which everyone needs to check out your book, Hilfiger Homes. But how do you guys conceptualize each house? Like what's the process? You mentioned that you first start with like sort of like, I wouldn't call it a theme. What did you call it? You said
well, we kind of do mood boards.
Mood board.
We'll do like a little bit of a mood board where, we look for inspiration. So we look through other magazines and things, and we take, it's, the design process is very similar when you're designing clothes or anything else. It's like you'll look at something else for inspiration. You might see something and say, well, I like that from that from that picture, but not in that color. And, it's always about where you're getting your inspiration. And, you can get inspiration from many different places. So we travel a lot. We get to see a lot of things. So
do you pick the pieces out from everywhere and put it together? Like, how does it all come alive?
Yeah, I mean, we pick what we like, and, it's like an editing process.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you ask that, because I don't feel like it's that different than designing a bag line or a clothing line or anything else. It's always about like a curation and an edit.
What are some challenges that you've experienced along the way of your journey?
In what sense?
Maybe challenges when it comes to design, challenges when it comes to, you've moved a lot of places, just challenges throughout, I guess, your life.
What pops first into mind?
Well, probably personal challenges. If I have to be honest, I think that, my divorce was a huge thing in my life. It was a huge personal challenge that, I don't know that it, in one way, I feel like it kind of set me back, at least mentally, like it did, but I had to totally sort of reprogram everything after that. That was probably like, there's sort of like my life before the divorce, my life after the divorce.
Just the way you thought about relationships or life?
Yes, about everything. And it was like, I was probably, I'm trying to think how old I was. I was like maybe 37, 38, around that age when I divorced. So, and I had 2 kids. And so that was like probably the biggest challenge in my life. And the biggest traumatic thing that, I had to start all over and figure out, what to do with these kids and how not to traumatize them. What was I going to do? I'd stopped working. There was a lot. There was a lot going on for me at that time. It was a very difficult time. And then, I didn't really know, was I going to stay in Monaco? I didn't know. I hadn't met Tommy then. I met Tommy 3 years later. But it was just like, how do I build, first of all, myself back up? And then, how do I take care of my kids? And just how do I move forward from that? Because I'd only known being married, to that man. And it was a very difficult time.
In hindsight, outside of like, the marriage, and you would obviously not have changed the marriage, you got 2 beautiful kids out of it, but are there things you would have done differently as a young person getting married, or things that you would have set up differently looking back?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Because when I'm hearing you talk, it's like, your life was then in Monaco away from your family, and then it sounds like you stopped working. So I just was wondering like what the advice to your younger self would be.
That's a difficult question for me to grapple with, because I think, I always sort of look at things that was my journey, and maybe that was all meant to happen to get to where I am. So if I change that, I might not be here today. So I kind of view it like that. But I think, I married young, and I think that I think when I did marry, I didn't take a lot of things into consideration that maybe I should have. Like just, I married somebody from a different culture. Maybe I was too young to get married. Maybe I wasn't ready to really get married. I don't know. I mean, I question those things. You can always
Go back.
play the Monday morning quarterback. I don't know. I do try to learn from those things. I think, obviously that wasn't the right decision for me. But then if I say that, then
No, I really relate to that perspective. And sometimes I have a hard time looking back. And my dad always says, you can't drive a car looking in the rear view. But I think there's some people like they have the perspective of, I did that and that's what got me to where I'm here. And then there's the others where sometimes like, hey, I shouldn't have done those things. And it's hard if you have, I think, your perspective or maybe even mine to kind of like go back because your life would not have unfolded the way it is now.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, when you think about it, okay, that marriage was a failure. But in my life, my failures have, you only gain success from failure, right? I mean, you have several failures and, it's a failure in the sense of the marriage, but it's not a failure in the sense of I have two amazing children from it. And, it's all under the water under the bridge. I was young. He was younger. It's past. We're friends. We all have moved on.
That's cool that you guys are friends.
Yeah. I mean,
now that you've had the successful marriage with Tommy, what do you think the secret or the tricks are to marriage? Or what is maybe your personal secret?
I think, well, first of all, love, laughter is definitely one. I think like probably love, laughter, and respect. Those three things go a long way when it comes to marriage, I think.
And you guys also work together like Michael and I do, which I always say it's the most challenging but rewarding thing. Like it's so rewarding to work together and it's so amazing to be able to work next to your spouse, but it is not without challenge. So how do you guys sort of balance that?
Tommy, we work together in certain ways, but then we work together separately too. It's not like we're not together, like working 24/7,
which is nice.
Which is nice. Yeah. And what's interesting is he always asks me his opinion on things with Tommy Hilfiger, and I'll always ask him his opinion on things that I'm working on because I'm creative director for Judith Lieber. I do a lot of other things. So we're both really, really busy. I think we both love working. And so we both, enjoy that. So it's not like I'm sitting there like, why are you working so hard? And he's saying, well, why are you going off there? That's helpful. We work together, but then we don't work together.
I get it. I totally get what you're saying. You have your own projects going on.
Yeah.
How do you set up your day for success? What are your routines that you do? You know I'm going to ask you that.
I knew that you were going to ask me that question. I was warned or told that I was going to get this question, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, obviously we travel around a lot, so the routine thing, I love routines. I mean, I would have to say my real routine is when I wake up, I need a coffee.
Like first thing.
I mean, yes.
What's your coffee order?
The coffee is, I have this fantastic machine. It's a Jura, Jur. Somebody bought it for me for a Christmas present. And I was like, what is this machine? And it's a fabulous machine. And I put in the Lavazza crema coffee beans and it, mixes it up, and it's a machine that you push. It can make anything, any kind of coffee. So I like my espresso long, and I have a couple of those and some water, and that's like how I get my day going. And then, Tommy and I, when we're home, we always drive together our son to school. So we both get in the car every morning and we drive Sebastian to school. And, and then we come back and we both like to work out, try to get like a 45-minute workout in there with a trainer.
What's your workout? Are you guys lifting, Pilates?
So we're lifting. We're doing more strength training. And I sometimes go to a Pilates with a couple of girlfriends in Palm Beach. And, we are doing the best we can with that to try to keeping it up.
And what about your skincare routine? I'm sure you know I'm going to ask you this too. Do you have any specifics that you reach for skin?
I am, I absolutely am obsessed with the PV50, the Biologique.
I need to get back on that. That's such a good one.
I use it like twice a day.
Oh,
I'm obsessed with it.
Michael,
I just do what you tell me.
Don't sleep on Mike. Look at Michael's skin right
But
now.
I
Dee.
just do
It's so shiny. It's like,
But I will do what you tell me.
no,
but I
your
don't.
skin
I will
is
get
looking
lost
great.
in
I
the-
can see my reflection in it.
Yeah. Well, the lights are pretty good.
No, but that one is a good one. What are the other
Your
go-tos?
skin is really good too. You
Thank
guys
you.
both have, I don't know, I should be asking you about your routine.
Oh, I
Well-
have some serious skincare tips. I love good skin.
Well, we've had so many people come on the show, doctors and experts and estheticians, and when they explain to me that the skin is the largest organ, and that and you start to, I think about it now the same way I think about, taking care of other areas. But before, I was just look like a dusty old saddle.
Are you
know?
ready
Like,
for what I just did? Because you have to hold on tight for this one.
Okay.
Okay. I
Oh God.
had a baby 2 months ago. I took my placenta and put it in a cooler. Then we took the cooler across the country
We had a doctor.
to a doctor in Palm Beach.
Oh,
The doctor extracted exosomes out of my placenta. The audience is tuning out now. That are 1 day old exosomes.
No, people.
They're baby exosomes.
People do this. They get exosome therapy or stem cell therapy.
you've heard of. I'm sure
but they
you've heard of
typically
exosomes.
do it with other people's cells or other people's exosomes.
So they take the placenta's exosomes and they package it up, and then they bring it back to you, and then they put it in a needle, and then they shoot the exosomes in your face and on your hairline.
But the reason that the reason this is a bit novel is most people do it that way, but because it was our shared placenta, she had the placenta, but it's
I think it was her placenta. I
Yeah,
hope it wasn't your
don't-
placenta.
Yeah, you
but
didn't
it's
do
got,
anything for
it
the
has
placenta.
half of my genes in it, so it's
Oh, he's
technically
going to claim the placenta.
we can both.
Okay.
What I'm saying is we can both use that placenta for these kind of exosome procedures instead of getting it from like a
It's kind
stranger
of cool.
or another.
It's different.
But it's
So they injected it into your face?
They injected
but
it into
she's
my
the
face.
factory, if that makes sense, of the
Yeah.
creation of the materials that you usually get.
But
somewhere
anyone
else.
can get their exosomes pulled, and I'm not sure how. I'd have to ask the guy, but he was saying anyone can get them pulled, and it's obviously like really good for your skin and your hair. And it was kind of a different one, and I swear I noticed a difference.
Well, I think it's working. I think have you shot these exosomes
I have
in your
not.
face
Can you
yet?
imagine when I do? It's going to be.
He wants
Yeah.
to shoot them into Michael in a certain area.
Oh, well, is that PG or should I
not
ask
PG.
where that?
We did a whole episode
What
on
will that
this.
do? Now this is
I
really
guess
getting
it makes it grow.
spicy.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
he doesn't say that.
Yeah,
he said
he said it in the episode.
It says that it essentially
Oh my
gives
God.
you, like, if you are
Wings. No, I'm
40,
just kidding.
maybe now the cells are like as if they were 30, right? So it like helps you.
Oh my God, this podcast just took a left turn.
You never know.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Dee,
So
hopefully,
it can grow.
we did almost have a
things.
walk off the other day. We almost had a walk off.
We did almost have
No,
a
I'm
walk.
not going to walk up. This
No,
is
no.
fascinating. I love where it's going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
You never know.
So many times during the day, I just want a drink that feels real, something bubbly and cultured that tastes great and actually heals my gut. That's why I've been drinking so much Synergy kombucha. Both at the studio and at home, our fridge is always stocked with Synergy. Here's the thing, this is real kombucha. No shortcuts. It's always raw and never pasteurized. Synergy is made with real organic ingredients that you can see and taste. And that's how you know they're working. You're getting scientifically backed benefits with every sip, like gut health, digestive support, immunity, and protein absorption. Synergy is the OG kombucha, and I've always loved their story, which goes back 30 years. Founder GT Dave first began brewing in his parents' kitchen in 1995 after his mother's breast cancer diagnosis. Inspired by her recovery and the healing powers of kombucha, he kept perfecting the recipe and eventually shared it with the world. That very same recipe is what you'll still find on shelves today, crafted with authenticity and trusted for its real benefits. Each bottle delivers 9 billion living probiotics across a diverse spectrum of beneficial bacteria you won't find in your average supplement. That diversity comes naturally from the way each batch is slowly fermented. These living cultures work hard to help your gut thrive. And when your gut microbiome is more diverse, the benefits multiply. all working to make your gut feel better. It's a daily reset for your body any time of day that you'll actually feel. And Synergy doesn't just improve your wellness, it also tastes great. There are over 20 bold flavors, so you'll definitely find one that you love. I've been into Synergy forever, and I usually gravitate towards the tropical flavors, but this fall, I've been reaching for more flavors that celebrate the season. Honeycrisp apple, cranberry, blood orange. They really have a flavor for everyone. Each one is tangy, vibrant, and naturally bubbly. There's a party in every bottle. There's a reason kombucha is my go-to, and of course, there's a reason it's always Synergy. They were the first bottled kombucha, paving the way for kombucha as we know it, and it's been the #1 in the US and worldwide for over 30 years. So sip it, love your gut, and feel the power of kombucha when it's crafted the right way. The Synergy team can't wait for you to experience the gut health benefits of real kombucha, so they're treating you to a free bottle. Just slide into @SynergyKombucha's DMs on Instagram and send them the code SynergySkinny to claim your coupon. That's @SynergyKombucha on Instagram. Drop the code and sip on your complimentary bottle while supplies last.
Listen up, everybody. Big news. Branch Basics, one of our all-time favorite cleaning brands, is now available at over 600 Target stores nationwide and on Target.com. Ever since Lauren and I switched to Branch Basics in our house for our cleaning supplies, we have not looked back. And here's the thing. So many of us are using harmful cleaning supplies in our houses without even realizing how much harm they're causing. They have hormone disruptors. They have chemical ingredients that can cause all sorts of illnesses. Our babies and kids are on the floor and on surfaces ingesting these things, and nobody needs them because there is a better alternative, which is Branch Basics. Branch Basics are multi-purpose cleaning supplies that's made with plant and mineral-based ingredients, no harsh preservatives, no endocrine disruptors, and definitely no fragrance. So you can clean without worrying about what you're bringing into your home. And it does the same job as these harmful chemical cleaning supplies, but without the chemicals. You can clean great surfaces, whether that's bathrooms or countertops, even tough stains. Branch Basics all-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and their new stain removal tackle it all. Plus, they're gentle on sensitive skin and safe for babies and pets. So if you're tired of toxic chemicals lingering in your home, it's time to make the switch. You can grab Branch Basics products now at Target. Find their concentrate, all-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, and stain remover right on the shelves. Trust me, your home and your health will thank you. We have not looked back since making the switch, and we feel better for it. So check them out. Shop Branch Basics in 600 plus Target stores nationwide or Target.com. You can also use our code SKINNY15 to get 15% off at branchbasics.com/skinny15. Again, skinny15 for 15% off at branchbasics.com/skinny15.
One of my main concerns when it comes to my skincare is my under eyes. I take it very, very seriously. And what I notice is whenever I have to wake up really early with my kids, I'll have like puffy eye bags. And obviously, you guys know I use an ice roller under my eyes, but I also like a really nice eye cream. And the one that I've been using lately is by Clarins. It's called Total Eye Lift. And so how I like to use it is I like to put a little bit on my index finger, and then I like to pat it underneath my under eyes. And I go outward so I can also like pump the lymph a little bit, and I'll open up behind my ears and let the lymphatic drainage go to work with Clarins Total Eye Lift Cream. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It has a retinol-like technology, which is really, really cool. And everything about it is designed to help the eyes. It's like a 4-in-1 eye cream, if you will. So crow's feet, even the 11s between the eyes, which happen as you age, and of course, dark circles, and for me, puffiness. I absolutely love pairing my facial manipulation with their Total Eye Lift. I think a mix of the two is so incredible to really depuff the under eyes. I've even gotten my husband into this because he sort of gets like a purple under eye situation. So if you're looking for plumper, smoother under eyes, I think this is a really great one to try. Like I said, just apply it gently underneath your eye, sort of going up. Sometimes I'll even apply it on the top of my eye. I really love this specific one by Clarins because 94 of the ingredients are of its natural origin, which I think is really, really cool. It's plant-based. It also boosts collagen, which we love. Everyone loves boosting collagen after 30. I think that's an amazing benefit, which really firms the skin. And I think a hot tip when it comes to Clarins Total Eye Lift is you want to apply the eye lift before serum. This is really important. So they encourage always doing the eye cream first. So do it before your serum. I think it lays really nice under makeup, which is important to me as well. For me at this point, it's all about prevention. I am so into preventative beauty. And I also like things to be non-invasive. I don't want to stick any needles underneath my eyes. So it's really nice to find an eye lift cream that works. This product is known to target every single wrinkle or any eye concern around the eye. So it really sort of does everything. So I wanted to know what the order, like the exact order was. So this is the order that you want to use. Cleanser, toner, eye cream, serum, thinnest to thickest, and then a moisturizer. And then I like to use sunscreen after. And then if I'm doing makeup, I'll do makeup. What I'm really into is warming up the product before I use it. So I'll warm it up between my fingers and then I'll just pat it under my under eyes, giving a little bit of lymphatic drainage. It lifts in 30 seconds. Like you can see it right away. Clarins really does think of everything when it comes to preventative beauty. I have been a fan of this brand forever. My mom used to use it. So it's really fun to be using this eye lift cream to prevent before it even happens. Don't wait until your 30s or 40s or 50s to use an anti-aging cream. This one is so important to your routine. Don't neglect your under eyes. You don't want them to be puffy. This is a great one to have in your arsenal. Also, it has harungana extract in it, which is a plant retinol. This is as effective as retinol, but gentle on the skin. So if you want plumper, smoother under eyes, check out Clarins Total Eye Lift. If you're looking for something gentle on the skin, this is the new generation of the best-selling Clarins eye cream, the Total Eye Lift. This is available at Ulta, Sephora, and on Clarins.com. I get mine on Clarins.com. Like I said, pat under your eye every single morning before your serum. You will love this for your under eyes. If you want to be preventative, this one is amazing because wrinkles are reduced in 30 days. Retinol-like technology is in this product, which makes it really, really superior. And the fact to me that it boosts collagen is a no-brainer. If you want to firm your skin, plump your under eyes, and really kick your skincare up a notch, this is such a beautiful product to use. For me right now, to be preventative, I want to be very thoughtful about my under eyes. It's something that I want to really take care of. It's such a delicate, fragile place. And I want something that is really amazing with results, which is why I like this product so much. You guys have all seen Clarins everywhere. It's an iconic brand that everybody loves. I remember being inspired by this brand when I saw it on my mom's vanity when I was a little girl. I feel like this is something that I'll even pass on to my daughter. I've noticed firmer skin and dark circles and puffiness reduce in like 3 weeks. So it works like a charm. You can go to clarins.com or Ulta or Sephora.
Okay, back to entrepreneurship, because we do have a lot of questions from the audience about that. What are some pivotal moments where you felt like you were really stepping into entrepreneurship? Maybe with being the creative director of Judith Lieber, launching your own brand. Give us some details there.
When did I feel like I was really stepping into entrepreneurship? I think, I kind of fell into it accidentally because I was advising Tommy. He was doing a preppy collection. And I grew up in Rhode Island during this whole, like, the preppy handbook. And I said, I had this bag. I was describing a bag to him that I had that it had buttons and you could change the covers. I was like, this was the preppiest bag and you have to do this in an adult version. And I was describing it very passionately. And he's like, well, you should do that. And so that's what got me started. And so when I started to do that, I was like, well, I went and made a prototype, and I went to Mindy Grossman at HSN at the time and showed her this fabulous design. So that's really, when I sort of started to get into the designing aspect of fashion. Like I said, I had been in the fashion business when I was really young. I was modeling in Dallas when I was, going to college, and then I did it a little bit in Paris. So I was like in that aspect in the fashion industry, but never on the design side.
And what about what you're doing as creative directing
for Judith Lieber?
Yes.
So that came about because we bought into the company. Judith Lieber was sold, and it was sold to Jamie Salter at Authentic Brands Groups. They own several brands. And so that's a friend. And so we also bought into Judith Lieber. And Jamie just said, hey, Dee, why don't, you're doing bags. Why don't you take over and be creative director? And I love the idea because I had known that brand for a long time. And when we first bought it, everybody was telling me that their grandmother had a collection. I kept hearing that. And I was like, okay, so we need to get the younger, we have to introduce it to a younger audience and do, more fun, quirkier kinds of bags with it. Because it was a lot of sort of floral and almost deco-y older lady designs. And so when I took over, that's when we started to do French fries and the brick phone and things that were, going viral and getting a lot of attention. So that was really exciting.
You did add a lot of fresh air into the brand. When you say those things, I'm like, oh my God, I can remember. You remember where you see it. It's really iconic. It's very smart. You're right. It did sort of have viral moments.
Yeah, it was really, and that was really, really a lot of fun. And, I still do that. And that gives me a lot of joy.
How do you think about real estate and where you guys decide to have homes? Is there a certain strategy that you guys adhere to?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I mean, I would like to pretend like there's a strategy, but there's really not. I think it's, Tommy and I always say it's like you just know it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like meeting a guy or something. Like you just kind of walk in that space or you see it and you just know. It's funny, when we bought our Connecticut house, we both walked in and the realtor was like, talking this room, the square foot. We were both blocked out. We both looked at each other and he pulled me into the room, where we entered. And he said, just tell her to hurry up and finish it so we could just buy this. He did not even care. And I was like, I know. I mean, we walked in and we knew. And that's kind of it's more of a gut than it is a strategy. And I don't think that, that is our strategy. It's just a gut feeling, and it's never led us wrong. And that's really it.
You told me this off air, but I would love for you to tell the audience, because I know it's in your book. What is your favorite home, and why is it your favorite home out of all the homes you guys do?
So my favorite home in the book is probably our Greenwich, Connecticut home. That was probably the second property that Tommy and I did together. And it's really kind of where we raised our son, Sebastian. And that's the home that I just said, when we walked in, it was hurry up and finish the tour so we can buy it. It was just, she didn't even need to, we were just walked in, we're we'll take it.
What are the elements that you think make a home a home?
Well, it's a combination of things. I think, I think about this a lot because Tommy and I have obviously bought and sold and moved a lot, and it's hard to move. It's very disruptive, and it's stressful, right? But I think at the end of the day, what I've thought about is first of all, it's wherever you are together. Okay. I could be in, it doesn't matter if I'm in a mansion or I'm in a tent. It's where I'm with my husband and my son is where I'm going to feel like I'm home. And, it starts from there. So I think it's just, it's filling a space with the people that you love, and then things that you love, and momentums and memories and places that you've gone. And, you walk around and you see things, it's like your stuff. Have you ever seen that George Carlin? He does a sketch, why is it that, you walk in and you never like anyone's home, but it's because it's their stuff, you
Right.
only like your stuff. So you never feel at home. It's like you're surrounded by your things and your people, and, you've created your own little haven in your nest and you feel safe.
How long does it take you guys from start to finish to do the home the way you like to do it?
Oh, it always. It never
stops.
It never
stops.
So you're
ever.
constantly editing.
Constantly.
And how do you decide, outside of maybe getting an incredible offer, when you're going to sell something? Like when you're like, okay, we've had this space and time to move on to the next. And are there ones that you're like, we're never selling, or is it always keeping it moving?
We kind of we keep it moving. It's sort of like what other opportunities. I mean, to be honest, I never really thought we were ever going to sell the Connecticut house, but I think COVID came, and I think Tommy wanted to change, and we like to change things up, and then that's why we kind of sold Miami, because then we were going to move to Palm. We just like to switch it up.
So there's no like, okay, this is the family home that we all grew up in, nostalgia. You're able to say, okay, it's time to on to the next.
Yeah, we don't have, I mean, we're actually in the process of selling a home that he's had for over 30 years, which is our Moustique home, which is sort of a big deal. I think it's a big deal for his kids because they've also grown up there. And I think that's why it's hard. There's so many memories that you leave behind, but ultimately you go forward and you're going to make new memories somewhere else. So
we saw you guys in Italy one time. You guys
did?
we almost went and said hi, but we didn't want to disturb you.
It was at Lo Scoglio.
We were across the restaurant from you guys, and we were kind of talking about the podcast. We didn't want to go up to you guys, but we saw that you guys were with Kris. What's the best advice that Kris Jenner's given you in business?
Oh my gosh, I've got to think about that one. I mean, let me just think about if there's one particular thing. I think she's just sort of fearless.
Yeah.
She'll say things to me like, oh, don't be stupid, or don't be an idiot. Like, she's just kind of fearless about going forward, and she's very bold, and she does it in the nicest way with the biggest smile, but she's pretty fierce. And I think that they've called her like a velvet hammer. I mean, she comes off, but she's a very savvy, shrewd businesswoman. So I think, I've learned a lot from that. It's like you can still be shrewd and savvy and do it with a really big smile on your face and be nice.
I had it was during our scheduling conflicts, and I had some mics in my bag and but Lauren said it would be inappropriate if I walked up to the table and threw the mics down, so let's just do it here.
Yeah, he almost threw
I was
the
like,
mics down
we'll
in the
just
middle
do the
of the
show
table.
right here.
I'm like, no.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I would have never done that.
When you decided to do your own brand, what did that look like? How did you conceptualize that?
I think it ultimately, the concept would just be, for things that, it's my brand with my name on it. So I like to do things that I think, women will feel good in, will look good in. And it's like, comes from my taste. I edited, I curated it. And it's just really as simple as that. It's just like what, people that would think that I have good taste would trust me in producing something that would, look good on them.
And when you launch your collection, what are the favorite pieces that people are really drawn to?
There is, we do a lot of denim, and we do a lot of like sort of casual wear and things. Like the denim, there's a pair of jeans that just kind of slip on and comfortable. I travel a lot, so I like really comfortable, easy to wear clothes.
Me too.
So, I mean, it's not fussy. It's not super.
Agreed.
It's just like everyday, easy to wear clothes. And they're very affordable. I'm not pretending to be, Jean-Paul Gaultier or, they're just everyday, easy to wear, comfortable clothes.
The other day I got a rash on my chin. And one of the things I did was I immediately ran to take my probiotics. So I upped my dose, because whenever I have any kind of rash or any kind of pimples, I feel like it's my gut telling me something. The probiotics that I take are by Just Thrive. I have been taking this specific brand forever. I have had the founder on the podcast 3 times because she's so knowledgeable about the gut. And the products that she has have so much integrity behind them. They're award-winning verified products, and everything is designed to help with your digestive health and your full body wellness. So that's why whenever I get any kind of flare up, whether it's a pimple or, like I said, a rash, I reach for my Just Thrive probiotics. You really can't go wrong. I will take their probiotic, I will crack it open, and I will put it in my kids' smoothie too. They have a Just Thrive digestive bitters,
which even supports natural GLP-1 production and helps you control cravings, keeping you satisfied longer. So those are probably the two products that I would tell you to try from this line. Those are the ones that I like to use. You can try Just Thrive Probiotic and Digestive Bitters today, risk-free, and save 20% with code TSC. Go to justthrivehealth.com and use code TSC. See the difference for yourself or get a full product refund, no questions asked. That's justthrivehealth.com, code TSC. And just so you know, I like to take this in the morning with my lemon electrolyte water. I do usually like 2 or 3. That's justthrivehealth.com, code TSC.
You know what I'm really into? A red light face mask, okay? How I use it is every morning I wake up before my kids and I put a red light face mask on while I meditate. It's such a good habit stack. It's so easy and it tells my brain it's time to wake up. I have been doing this for the last year, this habit stack, and it's worked really great. The one that I've been using is by Bond Charge. Bond Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. What I like about this brand is it's founded on science, but it's inspired by nature. So if you're looking for premium wellness products to help you sleep better, perform better, have energy, recover faster, balance hormones, they really have you covered. They have these blue light glasses that are amazing for nights. I love them when I'm winding down and reading my Kindle on dark mode. They also have an infrared sauna to the red light therapy, which is what I love, their red light face mask. They also have some EMF management things on their site that are really great. You kind of can't go wrong. If you're looking for something that helps with wrinkles, fine lines, sore jaw, migraines, acne, scar tissue, or if you're like me and you just get like a little rash sometimes around your mouth, the red light therapy is really awesome for that. It's currently the Bond Charge holiday sale, so you can save a massive 25% off. Just head to bondcharge.com and your 25% off code will be automatically added to your order. The sale will end on the 31st of December 2025, so hurry and don't miss the massive chance to save big on your favorite Bond Charge products.
Quick break to talk about Square. We love Square. You should love Square. And that's because it makes checking out of stores and vendors so much easier, and it gives the power for anyone that wants to stand up a simple store or checkout process the ability to do so. What's amazing is I don't have to travel with a bunch of cash to go and do the checkout process. What's amazing about it, one of the first things I noticed, is how easy it is to use and how easy it is to check out. What I love about it is how flexible Square is. I've seen it work seamlessly for all kinds of businesses and even small vendors. So if you've been building a business or thinking about building a side hustle and you've been doing that in person, you can now also take it online, because with Square, you can expand online, and Square makes it simple to set up a store in just a few minutes. It's perfect for those wanting to expand beyond brick and mortar. And like I said, it makes the user and the customer experience so seamless and easy. Square supports all major credit cards and payment methods, including your contactless options like Apple Pay and Google Pay. Checkout is fast and easy for your customers. So whether you're just getting started or looking to grow, it gives you the tools to do both without making things more complicated than they need to be, which so many people and so many companies do. So check them out. Square keeps up so you don't have to slow down. Get everything you need to run and grow your business without any long-term commitments. And why wait? Right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/skinny. That's SQUARE.com/go/skinny. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
This episode is brought to you by The Skinny Confidential. I created a candle for myself, actually. I wanted to create exactly what I wanted in a perfect candle. So as the story goes, when Zaza was born, I lit all my favorite, very well-known candles. You guys all know these brands. And I noticed that my brand new baby was coughing so deeply. I couldn't figure out what it was, but something told me that there was something in the candle. And so I talked to a lot of holistic doctors, and they said that a lot of the wicks in candles have something really toxic in them, and it comes out in the air when you light the candle. So I got rid of all my candles and I started fresh with beeswax candles. And while I was buying all these beeswax candles, I realized there was a gap in the market because they weren't pretty. So I set out to create my own clean, non-toxic candle for a better home. I just feel like this is a better choice because this candle has 3 ingredients and it's scented with eucalyptus oil, which is organic. And the wick is an all natural cotton wick. So the Skinny Confidential team and I really thought of everything for you to make a better choice for the home. I got rid of all the candles in my house, and this is one of the only candles that I use. If you want to grab our non-toxic candle for 20% off, just go to shopskinnyconfidential.com and you'll automatically get the discount. It's 20% off at shopskinnyconfidential.com to November 1st.
The striped sweater that you just gave me, everyone needs to go check out. It's so beautiful. Can you tell us what's called and where they can find that sweater? I'm going to wear it over my shoulders.
The
like
whole
you said.
line, I'm in head to toe. This is all DO too. So the new fall line, we're on Nordstrom online, and we're also at some selected Macy's stores.
What you're wearing, you guys have to go watch YouTube, is so cute. This is all designed by you.
It's cute. This is all DO. And even the shoe, these are old shoes. I'm not doing shoes anymore, but the shoes are DO. The sweater, it's just kind of sort of casual wear, but it's put together. And we've done what's kind of fun is we've done pieces that are very interchangeable. So it's easy to sort of mix and match. You don't need to think about, what top is going to go with these pants. And, some women are not as at ease with putting together separates as, some women can do it, some women can't.
I also think too, it's sort of like a time saver.
Yeah.
That's the way it's nice to have it just ready to go to grab.
Yeah. It's like you remember Granimals with the kids and they could, it's kind of like, easy to put together.
When you put together an outfit yourself, what are your styling points? Because like I said earlier, you do have a great perspective and point of view on that.
It's comfort. And, I would say that my style is more sort of classic, and I lean towards more sort of classic and feminine and sort of timeless. So you're not going to find super trendy, or I'm not trying to be super sexy and showing part, it's just kind of easy, classic. Feminine.
You know who has a really big point of view on style?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd love to hear it.
Don't.
no, but I don't think it's that great of a point
You
of view.
sitting all quiet.
I'm not. I just think
Let's
that
hear.
my perspective is it should never look like you tried so hard.
Yeah.
It should just be effortlessly classic always, I think.
Yeah. I
Right.
agree with that. I
I had
even
some
if you
trouble when I first got together with him. He had to help me edit my wardrobe. This is, by the way,
I had to throw away the
10 years ago. 10 years ago, you had to come in and we had to do a lot of donating.
Oh my God, that's like a Kanye thing.
Well, I've said
It
that.
actually was exactly
I've
that.
said that on the show, and I don't know if you can say that
But
anymore.
when I was 21, this is a long time ago, but he definitely had to help me edit it. And you do have a very specific point of view on style.
No, but it's not I just think that it should. I just
What's
like
the biggest turn off for you when you see a girl walking? I want to know what
You just
if you
cracked
see a
his
girl
back.
wearing something and you're like, oh my God.
I banned sweatsuits in the office. I walked in and all the girls were in sweatsuits. I said, that's not what we're doing here. No. I don't know if that was offensive, but I was like, listen, I'm not coming into a space that's supposed to be presentable and have people lounging around in their
You don't like
homeware.
sweatsuits?
No, I don't like sweatsuits. I don't mind a sweatshirt or a sweatpant, but then I think you have to dress it up with a top. I say either I don't like baggy.
Yeah, he says, this is what he says. He doesn't like baggy.
You know what I mean?
I might be in baggy right now, but I have to lose 30 pounds after a baby, so you're not going to get me in tight.
No. That's different. But when I think it should just look like someone has put some effort into it,
Mm-hmm.
and they care, because I think it's a it shows that you care about a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And so the things that are turnoffs to me is when it's I just rolled out like this. I'm like, no, let's not do a rollout.
His mother is a half Japanese, so she's very specific with how she puts her looks together. So I can see why.
Yeah. Well, you can't. Most people don't think hey, that's a Japanese guy when you look. But my grandma was full Japanese, and she was very opinionated.
That's fascinating.
Oh no.
Well, Japanese have we were talking about this earlier with Miles that I love that Japanese style. I was in Tokyo, but they like baggy.
Yes,
they like baggy in Japan.
but not sloppy
not baggy.
I have to be careful because, listen, I work with a lot of women, but I guess I'll just say I don't like when people look sloppy, men or women.
Does Tommy ever get in a pair of sweatpants and relax, or is he
Well,
always dressed up?
There's no problem with getting sweatpants and relaxing, just not in.
I mean, when we travel, maybe we like to be comfortable. That would be the
That's
time
different.
where we're in sweatpants. But I also prefer Tommy to be sometimes he throws on his hat. I'm like, you don't really need that baseball hat, Tommy. Come on. Like you're an older, sophisticated, like, you're a fashion designer. Let's keep it, not so casual.
There's a whole manipulation.
Oh, I also know
you just tell him that you say hats equal hair loss.
Ah,
I don't think that's true.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true.
Chat GPT.
I also think that
is.
as men, I'll beat up the men for a little bit, as they get older, should lean more into like the handsome classic look.
Yeah.
Like when you see a guy and it's like we're holding on to.
Also women, by the way.
Okay, well, I didn't want to say it, but.
That adhere, I would say, I can say that maybe because I'm a woman.
Like there was things I could get away with when I was younger that maybe I can't get away with now. And I think you just got to recognize that a little bit.
I think so.
You have to tell us about your Amazon Prime Video docuseries that helps female entrepreneurs, which is amazing.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about this show. So it is with Serena Williams.
Cool.
That's cool.
Winnie Harlow. It's with Hannah Bronfman, Isabella Grutman, Lauren Ridinger.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize this was this show.
Yeah, do you know the show?
No,
We
they
know a
came
lot
and
of these
talked
women.
about it. Keep going. I didn't realize that.
And my girlfriend Talia Sodi, who's, superstar, Latino superstar. And it's really interesting. When I first told people that I was doing the show, I think they automatically go to like a housewives kind of thing, but it's not that at all. It's really sort of like a behind the scenes look at all of our lives. We all work in some capacity. We all have different sort of storylines. Like Lauren's storyline is obviously she's running this huge company, Market America, and she just has been recently widowed and her struggles with that. And, my story is my story where, I'm, starting businesses later in life and follows that. And Isabella is just starting out her jewelry line and she's got young kids and we're, all friends and we're all trying to support one another. And then, Serena has her thing. So it just sort of follows us behind the scenes to show, how we're doing things. And it's really, it's hopefully to inspire women, who are thinking about maybe starting a business or wondering, how we do this or what to do. It's more trying to inspire and teach women. It's not like we're not throwing drinks at each other at like a day drinking and getting in fights.
I think that's
not
great.
That kind of show.
I love the female entrepreneur aspect.
Yeah, it's called CEO Club.
CEO Club.
CEO Club. Love it.
Can you leave our audience with one piece of advice for female entrepreneurs?
I think stay fierce. And, I think that, if you lead with passion, and compassion, and stay true to, what you're trying to set out to do and that you feel is the right thing to do, then, you'll ultimately be successful. And, one of my favorite expressions is and this actually comes from Kris Jenner too, is if somebody says no, you're asking the wrong person.
Agreed.
My dad used to say, talk to the head, not to the feet.
I'm going to apply that to you too. If you say no, I'm asking the wrong person.
Who else, as it relates to our relationship, who else is there to ask?
You never know. I'll find someone.
I don't have the ability to say no it's kind of like a no and then we'll circle back.
You have kids.
Later.
You're going to be outnumbered soon, right?
We have 3 now.
Oh, you have 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're here in the city with us. We're hanging on by a thread.
Oh my gosh. Are you done? Is that?
We don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't decide.
What's the right number?
You have 3?
Well, we have 7 combined.
I know.
7 combined.
I highly do not recommend that. That's a lot. That's like,
7 seems a little
that's
excessive.
Fun though.
It is fun. It's like a whack-a-mole game. It's like, you've got one thing settled and then another pops up. It's just like, things
it's
are
not
popping
boring.
up. No, it's never boring. So if you like whack-a-mole, then I go for it. Hey.
So what is the right number then? If it's not 7?
I'm going to get in trouble answering that question.
She has to say 7. 7's the right number. She thinks it's 7.
Is it more than 3 or is it like, hey, 3's good? I'll just like wink if you catch my drift.
I think 3 is good.
Woo!
Yeah, I get worried because right now, well, there's like more physical challenges because they're so young and you need to help them with everything and like get them dressed and pick them up. But
One of them decided to take their shoes off in Central Park the other day and run around.
Yeah. I will just say, because I'm a lot older than you guys and my kids are, in their 30s now, I would say that I think when kids are young, like you guys have them, it's one thing and it's like really fun and it's tiring, but it becomes a whole different kind of responsibility when they get a little bit older.
That's what I think
you're
about.
going to have your hands full.
At the same time, like
just
quickly.
Don't get too over ambitious with that. Is
Everyone
that a terrible
that
thing to
is
say?
a parent.
No, it's honest.
No, but everyone that's a parent that talks to us that has children that are older or have gone through adolescence or teenagers say like, well, when they become that, it's going to be a lot. And so I think like if you have, ours are 5, 3 newborns. So it's going to come like in a big wave fast all of a sudden, right?
Be prepared.
It's just at any age, it's a huge responsibility being a parent. It changes everything. You guys know that. So, I mean, I can't tell people how many kids to have because I don't know what their threshold, what their patience and tolerance threshold is. Mine is, as I've gotten older, it's gotten much less. So, but like I said, we're good. 7. I won't even have pets because I'm like my responsibility threshold is my cup runneth over with responsibility right now. So.
Well, and before you leave, I need to get that all girls Quaker school recommendation because
the Quaker girl, yes.
Yeah.
We have a giveaway going on. Can we give away like your favorite pieces in the collection to one audience member?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, I'd love to do that.
Okay. All you guys have to do to win the giveaway is one personal win. You just need to follow your line, which you can tell us what the Instagram handle is.
It is at Dee Ocleppo.
Okay, perfect. Follow that Instagram handle and then tell us your favorite part of this episode on My Latest Post at Lauren Bostic. One of you will win Dee's favorite picks from her collection. Definitely go check out her book. It's so beautiful, Hilfiger Homes, and go watch your show on Amazon Prime too.
Thank you.
When
guys.
is it out?
It is out, I believe, the early part of next year.
Okay.
2026.
What a great group of women too.
Right?
Yeah.
So lucky.
Really cool.
It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about it.
Dee, thank you for making this happen. We're so grateful. Come back anytime.
Thank you. Well, hopefully it won't take 3 years to come back.
No.
It was worth the buildup, I think.
And by the way, next time you see me in Italy, come over.
Oh, we will.
Oh, next
now we
time
will. No. Now we will.
That's my favorite restaurant.
Well, we don't
one of my favorite restaurants in the whole
You know,
world.
it would have been highly inappropriate at that time.
Oh, I don't think so.
We were also with some unruly characters that are in our friend
There was
group.
a lot of rosé.
There was a lot going on.
But next time
that would
we'll
have
come
been fun.
Yeah, we'll come say hi next
Yeah,
time.
next time.
Next time for sure. And I'll probably have the mics.
Thank you,
Dee.
Dee.
Thanks, guys.